I will let you know before we start this. I've been yelling for an hour. So just be aware before we start that that's where we're at here. Ryan Wood, by Ryan Wood on Twitter, joins us now on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. This is a tie. I hate ties. I think they're stupid. But I'm emotionally treating this like a loss. And if I'm being honest, even if they had won this game, there are things I'd still be mad about. This was just not good on many levels, Ryan Wood.
Yeah, it's a lot better to be mad in a win, though, isn't it, than anything else?
Sure.
Sparky, I think you're in the right emotional place. Yes, the scoreboard says inexplicably 40-40, because if you would have told me coming into tonight that the Packers offense was going to drop 40 points, I would have told you they're winning by 3 touchdowns. Because I didn't think 20 points was capable on this defense. Apparently 40 is. But the fact that they played the way they did, quarterback Jordan Love played the way he did, Romeo Doubs goes for a hat trick, and it's 40-40, it feels like a loss. It's a tie that feels like a loss, and now that's going to linger. The fact that they didn't win. And how about this? This is 4 straight times to open the season that they've opened with a double-digit lead before allowing a point. Now, just barely tonight, because obviously when they go up 13-0, they don't know how to block on field goals or extra points, and they get it blocked and returned the other way for a 2-point conversion for the Cowboys. But still, 13-0, second straight week, they've gone up double digits without allowing a point and not won the game. That can't happen.
No.
It just can't happen.
I totally agree with you. All this love for Hafley, and don't let anybody go hire him to be a head coach and so forth. Well, nobody's going to want to hire what they just watched tonight. I promise you that much. But my thing is this. Yes, the cornerbacks we knew coming in weren't all pros, weren't Pro Bowlers, all of that stuff. But Carrington Valentine, oh my goodness, Ryan Wood. That was an experience watching him play tonight.
Carrington Valentine had a tremendous camp. He had a great close to last season, 4 takeaways in 4 straight games. Thought he played okay to start this season. I have no idea what that was.
Awful.
That was not the Carrington Valentine we've seen for some time. So that's got to be better. It's bottom line. Micah Parsons said that he pulled Jordan Love aside after this game, and he apologized for the defense inexplicably not holding up its end of the bargain. I asked Micah Parsons, why was that? Because if you watch the first 25 minutes of this game, it looks like the Packers defense. It looks like what they did against the Lions, against the Commanders, against the Browns. It's looking like a trend, and then the floodgates opened. Now, he said that, and I think this is a fair point, that losing Devontae Wyatt certainly hurt. The season that Devontae Wyatt is having, that's a big loss to the knee injury. With that said, the Cowboys didn't have CeeDee Lamb. That happens in this league. You can't lose a defensive tackle, no matter how good they are, and have that happen.
Yep.
It's just that's part of the league, is playing without guys who are injured. So, look, the bye week's coming at a good time, not just because the offensive line needs to get healthy, Devontae Wyatt needs to get healthy, but week 5 needs to be the week on the bye that the Packers look man-to-man. Every man looks at themselves in the mirror, and they decide what kind of team they want to be. Because if you would have said after the first 2 weeks that they wouldn't win another game going into the bye, that they'd be 2-1-1, as weird as that sounds,
crazy.
I don't think anyone would have believed that.
No, we were
what
talking
kind of
about.
Team do you want to be?
We were talking about when are they going to lose? Week 7, week 8, maybe. It's going to be a while, and they haven't won a game since. Now, the other problem with that defense is, and I don't know if this came up, the amount of missed tackles in this game. Holy cow, Ryan Wood.
Well, I asked Matt LaFleur that question, the same question about what on earth happened to the defense in the second half. And rightly so. Matt LaFleur is the offensive play caller. He's not investigating the defense during the game. He's trying to prepare for the next drive. He needs the film to really dig into the tape to figure out what during the week what's going on defense. That's a fair answer. But he did say too many missed tackles, and for the love of God, someone forced a takeaway.
Yes.
Those are two huge issues. He didn't need film for that. Way too many missed tackles tonight. That has not been the Packers' defensive brand, outside of a couple instances last week when I thought the offense put way too much on the defense in Cleveland. There were some missed tackles late. They were exhausted. They had been carrying the entire load. I get that. But that has not been the brand of this. The brand of this Packers defense is 11 helmets to the ball every play, without exception. That was not the case tonight. And then, for the love of God, someone take the football away. It's unbelievable, especially with the pass rush that they have had, that they have not had more takeaways. That has got to change after the bye.
Ryan Wood, Green Bay Press Gazette, Packers beat writer, joins us as he does on every Green Bay football postgame show. Hear him throughout the week as well on our shows throughout the week here on The Fan. Follow him on Twitter at @ByRyanWood. I'd like to know, as far as from an injury standpoint, if we know how severe that injury is to Devontae Wyatt.
No, we never know injuries after the game. We'll have to figure out Monday going into the week. Do they practice? We have no idea, but it needs to not be significant because Sparky, it was last year, week 4 against the Minnesota Vikings, after 3 really strong games from Devontae Wyatt to start the season, that he had the high ankle sprain, and then that derailed the rest of his season. He wasn't the same guy until December. And what he was in December was really what he's been the first 3 games of this year. When he's healthy, he's a potential Pro Bowl defensive tackle. That's how he plays, especially with Micah Parsons next to him. That's the kind of production he gives, but now it's week 4 again, and there's an injury. He walked off the field unassisted. I think that's a positive sign, but you never really know. We'll have to see how it goes. But that needs to not be a major injury because he is very important to that defense.
I have to talk about special teams. People want Bisaccia fired all over social media, and people texting and calling into the show as well. But, I mean, that was, again, a Musgrave error. Musgrave had an error last week. It didn't cost them, so I think they pulled him out and put Tucker Kraft in, and then that ended up getting beat, even though that's not the guy that blocked the ball. At some point, don't you have to figure out maybe changing personnel on that field goal unit if these guys can't figure out what they're doing?
At some point, the special teams for the Packers just have to actually do the bare basic minimum, and that's protecting on field goals and extra points. Not having penalties. You have to do the bare basic minimum. If they do that, this team's fine, but they're not even close to doing that. This is an incredibly poor special teams unit. Give Brandon McManus credit. I mean, he hit the field goal at the end to tie the game. He hit the one to send them to overtime. But doesn't it kind of feel like you're back to the point of every time you see him line up, and this is really not much fault of his own. It's not protection. It's not on his foot, but you're kind of holding your breath like, oh my goodness, what is going to go wrong here?
Yep.
And the fact that that's not new. This is not something that's just starting. This is what the Packers special teams have been under Rich Bisaccia. Just to get better. Period.
Yeah, absolutely does. Ryan Wood, have safe travels back, and looking forward to hearing you the rest of the week here on The Fan, buddy.
All right, take care.
Take care. There he is, Ryan Wood. Follow him on Twitter at @ByRyanWood. Of course, Packer beat writer for the Green Bay Press Gazette.